my name is Bilal. I work for Trade Sexual Health. We're based in Leicester in the city centre. I'm a senior health promotion worker here. Identify as a queer cis male from South Asian background, Pakistani background. Grew up in an Islamic household, although I'm not practicing Muslim. So in terms of what Trade does, so we're an LGBT sexual health organisation. So we offer free confidential advice, information, counselling services to the LGBT community. So as a senior health promotion worker, generally working with members of the public. So somebody can either book in for a sexual health test. We have a clinic which runs every Friday, 12 till 2. We also one of the things I'll do as well is we offer a quick prick test, which is basically someone can come in and get a finger prick test to check their HIV status. We also do campaigns. So some of the things that we're doing is do outreach in the community, so making people aware of our services, talking to people about PrEP, HIV, STI prevention, where they're getting tested. Are they getting tested? Are they aware of the services in and around Leicester? Whether it's a C-card scheme. We also give safer sex packs. So basically there's free condoms and lube to gay, bisexual men and men who have sex with men. But anybody who it doesn't identify as that, we also can come here and sign up for the C card, which is again free condoms and lube. So in terms of how we support them, one of the groups we actually do have here, it's been running for multiple years, is Dosti. So it's basically a group for South Asian and Middle Eastern. It's like a meetup, and it's I actually, before I started working here, I was attending that group, and it was just really nice to be around people from my own community, having that community, seeing people from the same background as you, understanding again the cultural references, the potential religious references, the family dynamics, all that stuff. So that's a really nice group, and again, I'm a person who's been attending it. And again, I guess on some level, they've hired me, and I'm a queer, South Asian male. So I think again, it goes back to what I was saying, where you walk through the door. Leicester has obviously a huge South Asian community, yet unfortunately, a lot of people from our community, frankly, don't necessarily access services, and I think when I have access service, I didn't necessarily see that reflected back in terms of the person I was talking to. There wasn't somebody who's come from a background of me, so that could be a bit of a barrier. I mean, obviously the person is doing what they can to their best availability, but frankly, it's just a little bit different. You could throw in a couple of words here and there, or yard, or things like that, and you go, oh yeah, you got all the references. So I think I guess that's another way in which we're able to support. And I think especially with groups like Dosti, and it's the visibility. I think that's something we do really well. And again, literally like I said, we were at Leicester Pride, and Dosti, and they specifically made a really nice banner, and they'd made it themselves. It was made out of material you get from from the shops that your mum would go to and get it so she could make the dress. And people from our community that were there in support, they were holding it up, and I marched with them actually last Pride as well. So I guess the one thing I would say, take your time, legitimately take your time, because I know for me, it was a lot to come to terms to and with, and it can be really challenging and really difficult. And I think what's take your time. And what's amazing, the internet is an amazing resource. There's so many amazing resources. There's so many amazing organizations now. Obviously what LGBT Hero do. So I think definitely try and get some community, some connection, reach out. You can, I think there's great podcasts when it's in terms of stuff to do with gender identity, sexual orientation, gender expression. There's some really good stuff on social media. There's some amazing resources of books, there's pamphlets, there's files. If you can't be bothered, just whack a YouTube video on. There'll be an amazing YouTube video, and you can literally, while you're brushing your teeth or making a cup of tea in the morning, be open, honest. You may feel one way about one thing at one point, but that may change later. So personally, So like my gender expression has changed in that, certain events I'll go to, I will be more femme. Like before, I was very much like mask leaning, but actually, I've started to, I got really into fashion as well. So I'm like, oh, I really like kind of mishmashing like a gothy femme 90s R&B vibe, with like really big baggy black trousers, but then I'm wearing like fishnet tops and like crop tops and loads of jewelry. But then I'll do a more like 70s thing where it's like, cardigans with like tie-dye t-shirts and flared trousers. It's probably a bit more mask leaning, but then maybe some eye makeup. So yeah, I think like experiment and have fun. Yeah, you'll be okay. I guess another top tip would be like, yeah, if you're, I can understand that somebody may be afraid to get tested, or like because it might, if you're first trying to come to terms with that stuff, it's like, you may be worried about your anonymity. And I come in with, if I'm seen to be walking or talking to somebody who looks like this and is like that, people might think it's just like, again, the idea is a free confidential service. So when you walk into this building, we're sort of out the way. Again, what happens here stays here. It's not for anybody else to know. It's your privacy. Where our services, it's for our community. So we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that that's like safe. So I guess the one thing I've learned by going to support groups massively was that it didn't make me feel alone. Like I think there was a lot of loneliness initially because it feels like, oh my God, this is my secret. I'm the only one going through this. And what was really nice was, again, getting that community and they understood where I was coming from. And it's just like to get that level of understanding from not just one person, multiple people. And then they can offer you like advice, support, something to just hang out with and just, have a laugh. And it just made everything not feel so intense. I think what's really good is that there's a lot more choices these days, because I know that back in the day, Zoom didn't exist really in the same way it did pre-pandemic. Like LGBT Hero, I know that they do their Zoom like check-in almost like a meetup twice a month online on Zoom, which is really great. And again, Zoom didn't really exist in the same way pre-pandemic. So it's really, really integral that stuff like that exists. I know that I've actually with the Birmingham LGBT Centre, like sometime after the pandemic, I attended a BIPOC meeting, specifically Black Indigenous people of color. I think that's, I think that's really important. I'm just glad that the way that technology and the internet has now working and like how social media, you can access this stuff. What's missing is maybe it'd be more of like the frequency of the support groups that exist. I mean, I understand it's difficult because of like funding and venues and finding the appropriate like facilitators. So I think again, talking about like LGBT Hero, I think clearly doing some amazing work, and that's really great. So I guess maybe it's really nice that we have online people in different parts of the country. If you can't physically attend, it is what it is, but maybe some type of physical space, some sort of physical support that you can have, because I think what's really good is when you have that face-to-face interaction, it's different. It's just different. And when you have like maybe, I've been to groups where you've got somebody there who's part of an organization, they understand where all the other organizations are, where to signpost you. I think that is really useful. Because like I know that in Leicester we have, organizations where they're helping people who are homeless. So on certain days there'll be a nurse on site, there'll be a doctor on site, there'll be somebody who maybe do stuff to do with housing. There may be a mental health practitioner. I know that we have like the crisis cafes in Leicester. So I think maybe even like orientating it where the area that you're in. So like, okay, you're in Leicester, right? This will be maybe a meeting or a time where somebody from that community may come in and talk to you, and somebody who maybe English isn't their first language. They're LGBT person, they newly arrived to the country. Maybe they're going to want to talk to somebody who looks like them from that background. So I think like that could be really helpful. But again, it's just just funding and things like that. But hopefully things moving in that direction. So the way that people can access our services at Trade, you can either go to tradesexualhealth.com We're on all social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Our number and our email information is on the website as well. We do also do some outreach work. So whether that's some of the gay bars and clubs in Leicester, whether that's Dover Castle, and we're also at Rainbow and Dove. And sometimes we also go to the PSE sites. So there we'll be giving out condoms and lube and telling people about our services and access to testing. So PSE sites, they are public sex environment sites. So that's cruising grounds. And one of the things we do is we go to those cruising sites and we have a presence and we offer condoms and lube, and people can come talk to us we basically give them advice about sexual health, information about testing services, what other services we offer as well. So yeah, if you want to get in contact with us or talk to us, please feel free to do so. Again, it's a free confidential service and it's for the community, it's for you, it's for all of us. And obviously, like, we're here to help.